Let me know if this is your day two, if you were with me on day one as well. Okay, let me know if you're with me on this evening chat. So where I am right now, it's evening. And who am I? My name is Rahila Narejo, and I'm here to talk to you guys today about LinkedIn, okay, and the importance of LinkedIn in terms of your overarching career strategy for growth and getting those opportunities that you really want, and not just winding up in a job that just for passing time, right? You want to really spend your time, your valuable life doing work you enjoy, that gives you fulfillment, and that also pays you really well. Am I right? So if you did not watch yesterday's live micro lesson, do go and watch it. Okay, I gave some tips on your profile, especially on your profile picture. So do go back and check that out. Okay, so today, I don't want to waste your time. This is a micro lesson, so I really want to get to the point and give you some value. Now, today I want to start with a story. Okay, I want to start with a story, and this story is about a very significant day in my life. Why is it significant? Because on this day, I got such a wake-up call. And because of this wake-up call, my whole career strategy shifted. And I realized that, Rahila, your degree is not going to get you far. Okay? Your degree is just the beginning. It's like an entry ticket. Okay? But it's not going to help you win this race. Okay? That you want to win, that I want to win. And I'm sure you want to win too, right? You don't want to spend 80% of your waking life. Did you know 80% of your waking life is spent working? Either you're working for an employer or you're working for yourself. I don't care what you're doing, or you're working as a stay-at-home mom. You're working, and 80% of your waking life is spent working. And to spend that 80% feeling frustrated, feeling ignored, feeling undervalued, feeling stressed and anxious, right, and unappreciated, that's no way to spend 80% of your waking life. Give me a thumbs up if you agree. That is no way to spend your life. Because I don't know about you guys, but I've got one life. Okay, not one life. And I want to make the most of my life. I want to do so many things. I have a huge bucket list of things that I want to achieve. It's my life. I want to enjoy it as much as I can. And part of that enjoyment is doing work that I love to do, that gives me fulfillment, and that also pays me well. Right? And so I've been blessed because I've known what I've wanted, and I've set my target, and I've gone after it. But I realized early in my life, and this is a story I want to tell you, that my degree was not going to be enough. Even my experience was not going to be enough. And how did I discover this? Well, one day, I have an office, right? I have an office located in Clifton, Karachi, and I had a client come over to meet me for some work, to discuss some work. And in this meeting, this client of mine or to-be client, we hadn't worked as yet, was going on and on and on and on, talking about someone you might say is my competitor. Now, I don't think I have a competition because I don't like to compete. I like to just create. I like to be different and kind of be in my own little niche in my market. So you could say that, okay, indirectly they were my competitor. And so they were like talking, so, oh, this person did this, and this person did that, and this person, yada, 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 yada. And inside me, I started to feel an emotion. And can you guess? Drop it in the comments if you can guess. If you were in my situation, imagine yourself in my situation. Here is someone, you're trying to kind of pitch to or convince to work with you, and all they're doing is talking about someone else and how great they are. And you're thinking, hey, this is what I was thinking. Hey, I'm not that bad either. Okay, well, let's talk about my work. Okay, And that day when I felt that emotion, so can you guess what emotion it was? The J word, jealousy. I really felt it that day. And because I teach emotional intelligence, I also knew that that jealousy was there because it was giving me a message. It was telling me, it was warning me of a threat. It was telling me, Rahila, pay attention to this because here is something that you're missing. Something is going on that is going to be a potential danger for you. So you wake up and you pay attention to it. And so I'm thinking, okay, what is it? What is it about this other person that's making this client, a potential client, just rave about them and go on and on? Is it their education? Is it better than mine? Is it more than mine? Is it more unique or distinct than mine? Are they more qualified than me? No. So cross that off your list. Okay. So what is it? Can you guys guess? So it wasn't their education. Take a guess. What do you think it was? What do you think it could have been? I'm just going to see if I can take a sip of my green tea. Okay. I'm looking at your comments. Hey, Asif. Hey, Salim. Hi, Fahim. Okay, a lot of people. Hey, Khurram. Hey, Hafsa. Great to see all of you guys. Can you take a guess? Like, what was it about this other person that was making this potential client go on and on about them? It wasn't their education. I just told you because, I mean, it wasn't even more than mine, I'm sure. It wasn't their experience, okay? So if education is off the list, that wasn't the factor. It was an experience. I had more experience already, especially in the area that we were discussing. I was like, what is it? What is it I'm not doing? And this guy's story I'm telling you is about way back early when I started my business. So I worked as a consultant first, as an HR consultant, and then I started my own consultancy. And so this is way back when I started my business in the early years, maybe you could say around 2005 or 6. Okay, so it's a while back. And so can you guess? Hey, Yusuf, can you guess? What is it? It wasn't my education that I was not educated enough. It wasn't my experience. I already had quite a bit of experience working with large organizations, big time projects. So what was it? What was it? Why am I feeling this jealousy inside of me and wanting to like, oh, just stop it. Stop talking about this person. I'm here. And it's like the worst feeling in the world. You know, have you ever been ignored or you've been unappreciated for something you've done or accomplished? And it's like you're not that valuable, but you've done significant things. Well, that's how I was feeling. Okay, I was feeling really bad. And when I thought about it, I realized, aha, I figured it out. It's not the education. It's not the experience, Rahila. It was a third thing. And this third thing is the reason why so many competent, qualified people get stuck up in their careers. Okay? Either they get a first job and then they don't grow, okay? Or they don't even get their first job, okay? They just don't make it. So what is it? Can anyone guess? Okay, so personality, maybe, I don't know. Not really personality, because any personality is a good personality. It's this special ingredient that was missing. So Nadia is saying people connection, positive energy, or wait, other consultant was a man. Yeah, it was a man. Lol. Nadia. Yes. LOL. It was a man. Maybe. Okay. But I don't even think it was that. It wasn't a gender issue either. The thing was networking. Yep. The big N word. Networking. Now, I don't know if you guessed or if you've ever interacted with me. Seeing me, and if you've seen me online, if you've seen me on my Facebook page, if you've seen me on LinkedIn, if you've been in a workshop with me, a live workshop, or if you've heard me speak on stage, I might come across as someone who's a people person. I can talk to people, I can get along with people, but no, I am not. I am the world's biggest introvert. Surprise, surprise. Okay, I am. And in fact, if you knew me growing up, I grew up in Los Angeles. And even though I'm in the US, I'm the shyest person you would probably have ever met. Like literally, I could not like look people in the eye and talk to them. Okay? So when I had to talk to somebody, I was like so shy and I couldn't even look up. It was so bad. It was so bad. And my routine, like going to school, going to high school, going to college, university, it was like home, school, home. And if it was a good day, maybe I'd take a detour to the library. That was like a great day for me. That's me. Okay, that's me. I call myself the Queen of Introverts. Any introverts out there? Are you an introvert? Okay, I mean, I would beat you. I would win the crown every time. I was that bad. And when I realized that the thing that was keeping me back was networking, is literally because I wasn't keen on meeting people. I because other than work, if I'm doing a workshop, I love to interact because it's not the interaction that I'm focusing on. It's when I'm training people, I'm focusing on helping them learn and developing them. So that becomes my focus, and I forget everything else. And so my shyness disappears. But when I have to, like, in a social context, network with people, I feel really uneasy. I really don't like it. And so I'm like, God, that other person is such a networker. They're always hosting get-togethers, and they're inviting, clients for dinner, and they're going to all these networking events, and they're smoozing and and rubbing shoulders, and I was thinking, I can't do that. That's not me. I wouldn't feel comfortable doing those things. Now, if it's not my education, if it's not my degree, if the missing ingredient is that I'm not interacting with people in a networking manner, if that's holding me back, I don't know what to do. What should I do? So, guys, I had an aha. I had a breakthrough. That's when I realized, okay, what is networking? Networking is essentially being visible, right? It's being seen. It's being in the conversation. It's being top of mind so that whenever your specific industry, your profession, your subject matter expertise, the topic comes up, your name is always attached to it. That's the purpose of networking, right? Is to be visible, is to be top of mind. Yeah, so Nadia, oh my God, Rahila, that's me. Okay, well, okay, so Nadia, high five, high five. Yeah, you're just like me. So I decided, okay, what if I don't, do this face to face? What's another way I could do it? And in those days, like email newsletters was really hot. But I thought email newsletters are so boring. What else can I do? So that's when I decided to come out with a magazine. And I started publishing a magazine called HRT, which stands for Human Resource Toolkit. And it was like a full color glossy magazine that I sent out free of cost to over 3,000 people across Pakistan. All right? And it had interviews, it had articles, it had my thought leadership expertise, my ideas. It had pictures of our events, my trainings, my speaking. And it had a little editorial from me talking about issues that organizations are facing. And it came out every quarter. And I published this magazine for a good, I think, 4 years. Okay, 4 years. And people loved it. And people started to, my name, they would read it, they would pass it to their friends, they would keep it on their coffee tables, in their offices, right? Their magazine stands. And so this magazine was my form of networking. It was my way of getting visible, okay? And it went on for 4 years. And then I realized, hey, Rahila, it's taking a lot of your time. It's taking a lot of your energy. And your core work is not publication. And you're diverting your energy that should go into your business, your work, into this publication. So it's not, okay, you got visibility. Your name is now being recognized. Hand in hand during that time, 2006, the Dawn newspaper reached out to me, and it's because of the magazine. They saw it. Someone passed it on to an editor there. They saw it. And so they reached out to me to write a column, dedicated column, which would come every Sunday in the newspaper on career advice. And they asked me, can you do a column? Can you write for us regularly? I said, okay, I can do something, and I want to do an advice column. They said, okay. And I said, I'm going to come up with a name. I'm going to come up with the concept. And I shared it with them, and they loved it. And so that was the birth of Workplace Sanity. So I stopped writing that magazine because it was a lot of energy, it was a lot of cost, it was a lot of time. And I focused then into my column. Now my column, which came out every week in the largest English national newspaper, became my form of visibility. And everywhere I went, I could go to any corner of the country during those 10 years that I wrote the column, 2006 to 2016, my name would precede me. People would know me even before I got there. And it was all because of that column. Now, I hope you're following a pattern here. What is the key? What is the key thing that I'm doing? It's not about a magazine. You don't have to go out and go start publishing an industry magazine that you put out. No. It's not about writing a column in the largest daily newspaper. Okay? No. What do you think? What is that key ingredient that if you don't have, you and your career, I don't care if you are an employee, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a business person, whatever you do, it doesn't matter what you do. It's not your education. It's not your experience that's going to make you successful. What is it? Can you guess? No one's guessing. Take a guess. I want to see who's following me. Who's the smart person here? Who gets what I'm saying? Take a guess. What is it? If it's not your education, if it's not your experience, what is that magic ingredient? Tell me. Tell me what it is. Okay, Sadia, getting in touch with people. Hafsa, interaction. Muhammad Imran, networking. Okay. All right, remember I said I'm not good at networking. I am not good. I literally, I'm not good even with my friends. I'm just not a very social person. I'm a really big introvert. So it's not really the networking I'm talking about. Sadia is saying staying in touch. Hassan is saying PR. Guys, the bottom line, the key reason I did all of those things, and then I stopped doing Workplace Sanity. Okay, so the story continues. Before I tell you the bottom line, the key. So I wrote Workplace Sanity, which was a weekly advice column. People wrote me letters. In fact, I would get like at least 60, 70 letters a week, and I had to go through them and pick like an interesting letter and then give them my 2 bits of uncommon common sense within 200 words. That was a big challenge. Okay? And so Workplace Sanity is now a book. Okay? I stopped writing it in 2016. So from 2006 to 2016, 10 years, guys, I wrote this column. And this column changed the game for me. Okay? It changed the game. And it gave me this one magic ingredient. What is that one magic ingredient? Nadia, Nadia, I'm sending you a heart. Okay, I don't know if you sent me a heart, but I'm sending you a heart because Nadia got it. Nadia got it. Nadia said visibility. You could be the most competent, the best qualified professional in your industry, in your field. You could even have the best experience. But if you are not visible, you all of that, I'm sorry, is of no use to you. And I was lucky that I learned that lesson early in my career. I realized that. And I realized that even though I'm not like a keen networker, I don't like this idea of just having to meet people for the sake of networking. I figured out a way to still get the benefit of networking, which is visibility, in my own way. But what happened then after I stopped writing the column? And a lot of people ask me, why did you stop writing the column? Well, I stopped writing the column because I realized print media was a dying elephant. And I realized way back, I started to recognize like around 2010 that social media, that online platforms, online news media was where the world was going. And if I don't want to be associated with an outgoing platform, I don't want to be associated with a dying elephant. So when I talked to the newspaper and I said, okay, why don't we move this column to your digital platform? And they didn't have the plans. There's a big story behind this. They didn't have the plan to do that. They actually wanted to keep the column in the print because apparently that column, Workplace Sanity, was helping the Sunday edition sales. Okay, so I didn't want to keep associating with a medium that was fizzling out. I want to be associated with the latest things, what's up and coming, because that's my brand. I'm always inventing. I'm always 10 steps ahead in the market. So even this, like what I'm doing with my online coaching, this is where I shifted it to. So instead of giving career advice in an online column, in a print column, I started to give advice, develop programs, design courses in this online world. And I absolutely love it. It's perfect for the introvert soul in me because I don't have to leave the comfort of wherever I am. I can be comfortable in my own environment. But yet, look at this. I can interact with, right now, so many people and get my message out and help so many people at the same time. So guys, the key is visibility. And do you know where now you need to be if you want this magic ingredient? Where is it that you need to start garnering visibility? You don't need to write a newspaper column, okay? You don't need to go and do anything like I'm doing, but you do need to do one thing, which I am doing as well. I do it big time. And that one thing is to be on LinkedIn. If you are a professional, if you interact with the professional world and you're not on LinkedIn, you don't exist. You don't exist. And it's not just about being on LinkedIn. It's about being on LinkedIn and being visible on LinkedIn. Because just being on LinkedIn doesn't mean that people are seeing you. Okay? So you could be the best, most qualified, the most competent, the kindest soul out there. Okay? You could be just absolutely amazing. But if no one sees you, okay? No one sees you, you don't exist. You don't exist. So guys, if you want to learn like how to get out there, how to create your LinkedIn profile and create it in such a manner using techniques and strategies from search engine optimization, you want to learn how to attract the attention and interest of people who are going to move you ahead in your career, like recruiters, like hiring managers, like future bosses, like collaborators, people you can actually collaborate with. If you are not top of mind and you are not visible to these people who can make or break your career, then it's useless. So, guys, this was the micro lesson for today. My big aha, my big insight, where I realized that if I didn't take steps immediately to shift my invisibility, go from invisible, even though I had the competency, even though I had the experience, but I was literally not being seen by people. If I hadn't learned that lesson and taken action steps, and consistently, since that day I learned the lesson, I have been taking those consistent action steps to ensure I remain visible, then I guarantee that I would not be where I am today. I would not be enjoying the career I am enjoying today. I would not be traveling the world and doing work for multiple clients, right? Practically every multinational, every large, even local organization. I work not only locally, I work globally. And so many of those opportunities have come to me just through this LinkedIn platform. I mean, you go to my LinkedIn profile, you see opportunities working as an instructional designer, as a neuroscience expert, panel expert, advisor for one of the largest training organizations in the US, working as an executive coach for one of the largest coaching constituencies, organizations in the US. Now it's a global one. I didn't reach out to those people. I didn't even know they existed because I wasn't really looking for those opportunities. Those opportunities, guys, came to me, right? And when I asked them, how did you find me? How did you hear of me? And they said, through LinkedIn, okay? Through LinkedIn. So what I'm telling you about visibility and the things I teach in my Quick Start Masterclass called Get Hired with LinkedIn can turn your whole world around. Masterclass, it's an online. So the beauty is, once you're in for life. And anytime I update or add anything new, it's updated here. So you get all my latest strategies on how to optimize and how to psychologically influence people to connect and reach out to you. So the complete step-by-step strategy, even there's a downloadable checklist so that you can follow along and make sure you're doing every single thing correctly and tick it off your checklist. And once you're in for life. And once you're in, you get immediate access. Okay, so you can start right now working on your LinkedIn profile and increasing your visibility. How's that sound? All right, so guys, I hope you learned from my micro lesson today. It's not your experience. It's not your education. Those things are important, but they become utterly useless to you if you don't have this third ingredient, which is visibility. And today, where you need to be visible is on LinkedIn. And I cannot say that enough times. You need to be visible on LinkedIn. And if you get this message, then get into the Get Hired with LinkedIn Masterclass. All right. So guys, thanks for joining. Thank you so much. And remember, join me again, same time, same place. Maybe bring in your own little cup of whatever, your favorite cuppa, and let's have another micro lesson tomorrow. I'll see you then. Bye.